Hi there. If you're over 70, this could be one of the most important videos you'll watch today. Let me show you why. These are the 7 signs that could reveal how long you might live. Let's take a closer look.
Good evening, all you magnificent seniors. The doctor is in. And I want you to think about something for a moment. Getting older isn't about breaking down. That's a common misconception, and frankly, it's a terribly boring way to look at things. Instead, I want you to think of your body like a classic American car. A '65 Mustang, perhaps, or a sturdy old Ford pickup. It's a machine with character, power, and a history that's earned respect. Sure, the paint might have a few nicks, and the engine might need a little more tuning than it used to. But it's a vehicle of value, one that knows the roads. The key isn't to wish it were new. The key is knowing how to maintain it, how to read the signals it's giving you. You see it all the time. There's the 75-year-old neighbor who's still out on the golf course or tending to his prize-winning roses, full of vigor. Then there's another, same age, who struggles just to bring in the mail, who moves with a hesitation that wasn't there a year ago. What's the difference? It's not just luck. It's often found in a few key indicators, the gauges on your body's dashboard. These aren't fortune-telling. They are real, observable patterns that tell you how well your internal machinery is running. In this video, we're going to pop the hood and take an honest look at 7 of these vital gauges. These are the signs that can give you a remarkably clear glimpse into your future vitality. By the end of our time together, you'll know exactly what they are, what they mean, and most importantly, what you, as the driver and chief mechanic, can do to keep your classic engine running smoothly for many, many more miles to come. So stick with me, because some of these gauges are so subtle, you might be dismissing them as nothing. And that, my friends, is a mistake we can no longer afford to make. Let's get started. Gauge number 1, your walking speed, the speedometer. The first and perhaps most honest gauge on your dashboard isn't hidden away. It's on full display every time you walk across a room. I'm talking about your walking speed. Think of it as the master speedometer on that classic car that is your body. It doesn't just tell you how fast you're going. It gives you a comprehensive reading on the entire system. A brisk, confident pace tells a story of health. It says your engine, the heart and lungs, is efficiently pumping fuel and oxygen. It says your chassis and suspension, the bones, joints, and muscles, are strong and holding up well against the bumps in the road. And it says your electrical system, the brain and nerves, are firing signals with speed and precision. It's a full-body diagnostic test you perform every day without even realizing it. Numerous studies have confirmed this simple truth. Seniors who maintain a steady, purposeful walking pace tend to live longer, more independent lives. Let's picture 2 people. There's Joe, 76, who strides through the grocery store aisles with purpose, maybe even leaning into the turns a bit. He doesn't need to use the shopping cart as a walker. Then there's Frank, same age. Frank shuffles. His eyes are often on his feet, scanning for uneven pavement. He hesitates at curbs. His world has become a series of potential obstacles. Joe's pace screams capability, while Frank's slow, cautious shuffle is a clear signal that his body's reserves and confidence are dwindling. This isn't just about slowing down with age. A significant decrease in walking speed can be an early indicator of underlying issues, poor circulation, weakening muscles, arthritis, or even a decline in cognitive processing. Your legs are your wheels. When they lose their power, your freedom of movement is the first thing to go. But here's the wonderful news. This is not a fixed gauge. You can absolutely increase the reading on your speedometer. It's about maintenance. You don't need to train for a marathon. You just need to keep the engine from seizing up. Start by taking a deliberate 10-minute walk around the block. Focus on your posture. Swing your arms. Tomorrow, maybe go for 12 minutes. The simple act of moving is the best tune-up there is. Pay attention to your pace. It's the most straightforward way to check in on your longevity.
Gauge 2. Your grip strength, the torque gauge. Next, let's talk about power. Not horsepower, but hand power. Your grip strength. It may sound trivial, but the strength of your hands is a remarkably accurate gauge of your body's overall muscle power and resilience. Think of it as the torque of your body's engine, its raw, functional strength. A firm, confident handshake, the ability to open a stubborn pickle jar, or the strength to confidently use a screwdriver from the toolbox in the garage. These are not just small conveniences. They are direct signs of healthy muscle mass, good nerve function, and overall vitality. A weak or declining grip, however, is often one of an early sign of sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle that happens as we age. And losing muscle is like drawing down the principal on your retirement savings account. It leaves you with fewer reserves to handle life's challenges. Let's consider Robert, 78. He can still carry in all the grocery bags from the car in one trip. His handshake is firm and reassuring. Then there's Walter, also 78, who now struggles with the plastic seal on a milk jug and has quietly asked his wife to open jars for him. He might think, "Oh, it's just my hands." But it's not. It's a signal from headquarters that the entire system is losing power. Muscle is what helps you get up after a fall, recover from an illness, and maintain your independence. A weak grip is a sign that this vital resource is shrinking. And now the good news from the workshop. You can fight back. You don't need a fancy gym membership. Simple everyday actions can rebuild this strength. Squeeze a tennis ball while you watch the news. Keep a pair of hand grippers by your favorite armchair. Make a point to carry your own bags. Hobbies like gardening, woodworking, or even kneading bread are fantastic for maintaining your grip. Your hands are the canaries in the coal mine for muscle loss. Listen to what they're telling you, because the power you hold in your hands today is a strong indicator of how well you'll hold on to your independence tomorrow. Gauge number 3, your balance, the foundation gauge. Let's move from the car to the house. Your sense of balance is like the foundation of your home. You don't really think about it when it's solid, but the moment it starts to crack, everything built on top of it becomes vulnerable. Your ability to stand steadily, especially on one leg, is a critical gauge of your longevity. Good balance isn't magic. It's a finely tuned collaboration between 3 systems: your strong legs and core, the concrete and steel beams, your inner ear, the body's gyroscope, and your brain, the central processor that makes sense of it all. A decline in balance means there's a problem in one of these areas. Researchers have discovered that the inability to stand on one leg for at least 10 seconds is strongly linked to a higher risk of falls, serious injury, and a shorter lifespan. Imagine Carol, 74. She can stand on one leg to pull on her pants in the morning without reaching for the wall. Her foundation is solid. Now think of Nancy, her neighbor. Nancy feels a little thrill of anxiety every time she has to walk across a plush carpet or a grassy lawn. She finds herself furniture surfing, moving from one piece of furniture to the next for support. Her world is shrinking because her foundation feels unstable. That's not just an inconvenience, it's a profound loss of freedom and a serious warning sign. The excellent news is that you can repair the foundation. Balance is a skill, and it is highly trainable. Try a simple home inspection right now. Stand up and try to balance on one leg. Can you hold it for 10 seconds? If it's a struggle, don't despair. Get to work. Practice every day. Stand on one leg while waiting for your coffee to brew. Practice standing up from your favorite armchair without using your hands. This simple act builds core strength and balance. The more you work on your stability today, the less likely you are to have a catastrophic structural failure tomorrow.
Gauge 4. Your sleep patterns, the overnight crew gauge. What happens when you turn the key off at night? That's when the real work begins. Your sleep is not downtime. It's when the overnight maintenance crew takes over your body's workshop. And the quality of their work is a crucial gauge of your health. This crew isn't just sweeping the floors. They are incredibly busy. They are repairing muscle tissues, producing immune cells to fight off invaders, balancing the body's fluids like stress and growth hormones, and most critically, cleaning the brain. Every night they wash away metabolic debris, including the kind of plaque linked to Alzheimer's disease. A good night's sleep is like a deep restorative service for your entire system. People over 70 who consistently get high-quality sleep live longer and have better cognitive function, period. Think of Henry, who wakes up feeling like his engine has been perfectly tuned, ready for the day. Then there's Bill, who tosses and turns, waking up feeling groggy, foggy, and like his spark plugs are fouled. That daytime fatigue isn't just tiredness. It's a sign that the maintenance crew didn't finish their jobs, leaving yesterday's gunk in the system. If you struggle to stay asleep or wake up feeling exhausted, your body is telling you something is wrong in the workshop. The great news is that you can create better working conditions for your crew. They need a cool, dark, and quiet environment. They work best on a consistent schedule, going to bed and waking up around the same time. And they appreciate it when you power down the bright lights, especially from TVs, phones, and tablets, an hour before they clock in. Respect your overnight crew, and they will keep your machine running beautifully for years. Gauge number 5. Your appetite, the fuel gauge. Let's head back to the dashboard. One of the simplest gauges to read is the fuel gauge, your appetite. A healthy, consistent appetite means your body is calling for the energy it needs to run all its systems. A sudden or gradual loss of appetite, however, is a serious warning light. When that fuel gauge needle starts unexpectedly dropping toward empty, it's not a quirk. It's a sign that something is amiss under the hood. It could be digestive issues, medication side effects, or even emotional factors like stress or depression. The biggest danger is unintentional weight loss. For a senior, losing weight often means losing precious muscle mass. And losing muscle is like taking a hammer to your body's retirement fund. You're depleting the very resource you need for strength and recovery. Consider Margaret, 74, who still looks forward to a hearty Sunday dinner with her family. Her engine is demanding fuel. Then there's Susan, who finds that food has become a chore. She feels full after a few bites, often subsisting on crackers or tea. As a result, she's lost the energy to tend to her beloved garden. Her world gets smaller because her fuel tank is always near empty. This creates a vicious cycle. Low energy leads to less activity, which further suppresses appetite. The good news is that a warning light is there for a reason, to get your attention. If you notice your appetite shrinking, address it. Focus on high-octane fuel, nutrient-dense foods, a protein shake, a couple of eggs, a cup of Greek yogurt. These provide maximum energy in a small volume. Think smaller, more frequent meals. Don't ignore the fuel gauge. It's one of the most direct messages your body can send.
Gauge number 6. Your stress management. The rust gauge. Life will always have its share of bumpy roads and bad weather. How you handle the unavoidable stress of that journey is a powerful indicator of your longevity. Chronic stress is not just an emotion, it's a physical process. The best analogy? It's like a slow, creeping rust on your car's frame. You don't see it day to day, but silently, constantly, it's eating away at the structural integrity of your health. Biologically, this rust is called inflammation. Long-term stress keeps your body flooded with corrosive hormones like cortisol, which creates system-wide inflammation, a key factor in nearly every major age-related disease, from heart conditions to dementia. Another way to think of it is as a high-interest credit card debt for your health. The balance just keeps growing until it becomes overwhelming. Let's look at John and Richard, both 76. When John gets a flat tire, he says, "Well, isn't that something? Let's get it fixed." He deals with the problem and moves on. When Richard gets a flat tire, he treats it like a catastrophic engine failure. He worries about it for days, his blood pressure stays high, and the stress consumes him long after the tire is changed. He lets the rust spread. The fantastic news is that you can learn to be a master of rust-proofing. Your response to stress is a learned skill. You can choose to step back, take a deep belly breath, and put the problem in perspective. Find your stress release valves, working in the garage, fishing, listening to music, or laughing with a friend. Learning to manage your response is like applying a protective coating to your health, keeping you solid and strong for the road ahead. Gauge 7. Your social connections, the power grid gauge. Finally, we arrive at a gauge that many people don't even realize is on their dashboard: the strength of your social connections. Humans are not meant to be solitary machines. We need to be connected. Think of it this way. Social connection is like being plugged into the power grid. When you're connected to friends, family, and community, you have a constant source of power, light, and energy to draw from. When you become isolated, it's like a personal blackout. The silence can be deafening, and the darkness can be overwhelming. The science is clear. Loneliness has a physical impact on the body comparable to smoking or obesity. It raises stress hormones, increases inflammation, and is a major risk factor for depression, cognitive decline, and early mortality. Picture Eleanor, 78. She has her weekly bridge game, her church group, and regular phone calls with her grandchildren. She is plugged in. Her life is filled with the energy of shared stories and laughter. Then there is Barbara, who lives alone. Her phone rarely rings, and her days are marked only by the ticking of a clock. She feels disconnected, unplugged, and her vitality suffers for it. And the most wonderful news of all is that it's never too late to plug back in. This doesn't mean you have to become the life of the party. It's about making a conscious effort. Start small. Schedule one phone call a day. Join a local club at the senior center or library. Strike up a conversation with a neighbor over the fence. Volunteer. Every connection you make is like flipping a switch on your personal power grid, flooding your life with the energy you need to thrive. Final thoughts. You are the driver and the chief mechanic of this incredible machine. Your future is not etched in stone. It is sculpted daily by the small, conscious choices you make. If a gauge is low, you now know that you have the tools to fix it. This isn't a checklist of fear. It is your personal roadmap to vitality. The goal is not simply to rack up more mileage on the odometer. The goal is to enjoy the journey. It's about having the strength, energy, and clarity to make those years truly worth living. It's about the quality of the life you experience on the road. Thank you for coming along for the ride today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one gauge you plan on checking or improving in your own life. Your insights are what build this community. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone you care about. Your support helps us keep creating content that informs and inspires. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next trip.